He set it in front of the bread basket, like he was choosing a side dish. June is not really family. Not for the Will. My name is Elena Brooks. I am 36 years old. My daughter is 11. And this is what happened in the 24 hours after my husband decided love needed a blood test. If you have ever watched a child shrink in a public place because an adult ranked her, stay with me. This is a family revenge story without violence. Only consequences, documents, and a clock that would not stop. We were at dinner for our anniversary. Daniel's idea. A nice place with cloth napkins and a waiter who refilled water before you noticed thirst. Blended family, Daniel always said, when it photographed well. June wore the blue dress she saved for important nights. On the drive over, she practiced a toast in the back seat. Something simple. Thank you for making room for me. Thank you for Saturday pancakes. Thank you for teaching me to ride without training wheels even when you were scared I would fall. She had written it on a folded receipt. Children prepare for love more carefully than adults do. Daniel ordered wine. His brother talked estate planning the way some men talk sports, loud enough for neighboring tables, proud of complexity. I tried to change the subject to June's science fair. Daniel smiled that lawyer smile, the one that means he has already decided the verdict. She's a great kid, he said. But she's not family. Not the way blood is. For the Will, we have to be realistic. June's fork stopped halfway to her mouth. The restaurant noise went far away, like someone turned the world's volume down and left only the sound of a child learning she was optional. I saw her swallow the toast she never got to give. I saw her place the receipt back in her pocket as if privacy could undo hearing. I did not scream. Screaming would have made her the center of a scene she did not create. I paid the check. I took my daughter's hand. And I said, loud enough for the brother to hear. Then we are leaving the people who are not ours. In the car, June was quiet in the way children get when they are storing a wound for later. Streetlights passed over her face in stripes. Finally she asked, am I a guest? No, I said. You are the reason I know what family is. She cried then, not loudly. A careful cry. I pulled into a pharmacy parking lot and held her until her shoulders stopped apologizing for existing. Hour 1 began the moment the engine started again. I called Grandma Ruth. My mother. She had always been polite to Daniel. Polite is not the same as impressed. When I repeated his words, she went silent, then precise. Come over, she said. Bring the school binder. Bring your marriage certificate. Bring June. And Elena, do not stop for his explanations. Explanations are how he rearranges furniture in your mind. We drove to Ruth's house through light rain. June fell half asleep against the seatbelt, still in the blue dress. Ruth opened the door before I knocked, as if she had been waiting years for a night like this to force the truth into daylight. Hour 3, Ruth opened her safe. Inside was the deed to the house Daniel assumed would stay in the family, meaning his last name on every napkin. Ruth's trust documents were older than Daniel's confidence. June was already named for the education fund. Daniel was listed as spouse of record, not king. Ruth made tea like a general makes maps. This house, she said, does not transfer on a husband's philosophy. And that child does not become temporary because a man discovered vocabulary. Hour 6, emails and forms. I wrote to June's school to confirm emergency contacts. I removed Daniel as primary. I added Ruth. I forwarded every confirmation to myself like a shield made of timestamps. I contacted our bank about account permissions, not to punish yet, to understand. I photographed the dinner receipt. I wrote down witnesses, brother, waiter if needed, the couple at the next table who went quiet when he spoke. People think revenge is rage. Sometimes revenge is inventory. Hour 9, Daniel texted. You're overreacting. It was hypothetical. We can talk like adults. Hypothetical is a word men use when a child heard them clearly. Like adults is a phrase that means without the child present so he can renegotiate reality. I did not answer immediately. I finished June's favorite soup at Ruth's stove. I braided her hair for bed. I told her a story about a fox who learned the difference between a den and a trap. Hour 12, midnight on Ruth's couch. June slept with her shoes near the bed, ready, like people who have learned exits. I sat with the anniversary candle we never lit and made a list of every time Daniel said my house, my rules, my name. Patterns look different when you stop trying to save the pattern. I remembered the weekend he called June kiddo in public and my kid only when forms required ink. I remembered him correcting her last name on a soccer form as if hyphenation were an insult. I remembered myself making excuses because peace felt like a mother's job. Peace that requires a child to be smaller is not peace. It is a performance with unpaid extras. Hour 14, I called a family attorney Ruth trusted. She listened without theater. She said, document everything. Do not threaten. Do not post. Move the pieces that protect the child first. So I did. Hour 16, morning light, weekend honest. Daniel showed up with coffee and an apology shaped like a lecture. Ruth opened the door 2 inches. You may speak to Elena, she said. You may not revise June. He laughed, nervous. Then he saw the lawyer's card on the hall table. The laugh died the way performances die when the audience can read. He said he was stressed. He said wills are technical. He said he loved June. I asked him one question. Would you have said it if she were not in the room? He hesitated. That hesitation was an answer with a pulse. Hour 18, the meeting. Not a courtroom. A conference room with water bottles and no patience for poetry. Ruth's attorney read the relevant lines slowly, as if teaching a class Daniel had skipped. The house was never going into his control through marriage magic. June's fund was untouchable by philosophical opinions about blood. My separate property, saved before the wedding, remained mine. And parental decision-making for school and medical emergencies would be clarified in writing, because words at dinner had proven unsafe. Daniel tried a new sentence. I love her. I just meant legally. You meant hierarchy, I said. You ranked a child who calls for you at night when she is scared of storms. You ranked the girl who saved you the last pancake. You ranked her in public, which means you wanted witnesses to your ranking. His brother looked at the table. Even accomplices of tone can feel shame when the transcript is clean. Hour 20, school pickup. June ran out, then slowed when she saw Daniel's car across the street. I knelt to her height. You do not have to hug anyone for optics, I told her. You do not have to perform forgiveness on a schedule. She nodded. Then she walked to me, only me. Her hand in mine was warm and decisive. Daniel rolled down the window. June, buddy. She looked at him and said, quietly, I practiced a toast for you. Then she got in Ruth's car. I have never been prouder of a sentence that broke my heart. Hour 22, Daniel called crying. Real tears, maybe. Regret is easy when the cost arrives. He said he was wrong. He said he wanted counseling. He said family is more than blood, like he invented the concept 12 hours late. I listened because I am not interested in becoming cruel for sport. Then I said the only promise I could keep. You can become a safe person again. You cannot unspeak what she heard. That work is yours. Access to us is mine to grant, and it will be slow, supervised, and earned, if it is earned at all. He started to argue. I ended the call. Boundaries are sentences that do not need his approval to be true. Hour 23, I sat with Ruth at the kitchen table while June colored. Ruth said, I married a man once who confused control with provision. I left when I learned the difference. You are learning faster than I did. I cried then, not for Daniel. For the years I edited myself to keep a marriage looking blended for social media while a child learned to measure her belonging. Hour 24, dinner at Ruth's. No restaurants. No bread baskets with knives of language beside them. June made toast, the real kind, with butter and courage. To family, she said. The ones who stay. Daniel was not at the table. Maybe one day he would earn a chair. Maybe not. Chairs are not participation trophies. In the days after the 24 hours, there were more documents, more quiet rearrangements, more nights June asked if she was still a guest. Each time I answered with actions, not slogans. School concerts. Name on forms. A bedroom that stayed hers without conditions. This is not a story about hating men. It is a story about a sentence that tried to make a child temporary. And a mother who refused to rent her daughter's belonging. If someone has ever made you feel like a guest in your own life, take the 24 hours. Move the documents. Call the person who already chose you. Stop explaining your worth to people committed to misunderstanding it. Family is not a DNA test recited over pasta. Family is who flinches when a child is diminished. And who stands up. My name is Elena Brooks. My daughter is not a technicality. And the man who said otherwise learned, inside one day. That regret is not the same as repair. And a will is not the only place where love is proven. If this found you after a dinner that went wrong, save the receipt. Save the timeline. Save the child first. Everything else is paperwork. And paperwork, used well, is a kind of love too. I need to tell you about the years before the bread basket, because 24 hours only explode when the pressure has been building. Daniel liked the idea of blended more than the labor of blending. He loved June when she was easy, quiet homework, cute photos, thank you notes. He cooled when she had needs that competed with his comfort, illness, fear, the ordinary friction of a child becoming a person. I explained her to him like a translator. Mothers should not have to translate their children into acceptable formats for adults who promise to love them. Once, at a barbecue, Daniel's uncle asked June who her real dad was. Daniel laughed it off. I did not. June watched my face for the answer before she watched his. Children learn belonging by studying adult microexpressions. That day I smiled too hard. I regret the smile more than I regret the divorce conversations that came later. In Ruth's house during those 24 hours, June asked if she had been bad. I got on the floor with her. Bad is for choices, I said. You are not a choice they get to reverse. She wanted ice cream at 1 a.m. Ruth said yes. Sometimes justice looks like ice cream against the rules of bedtime. I also need you to know I loved Daniel, not as an excuse, as context. Love is why the sentence cut clean through me. If he had been a stranger, it would have been ugly. Because he was her stepfather in practice, it was a structural collapse. The difference matters for anyone deciding whether to stay and teach or leave and protect. After hour 24, there was mediation talk, counseling talk, mutual friends taking sides with the enthusiasm of people who enjoy other people's fires. I did not campaign. I parented. June's therapist used dolls and drawings. One drawing showed 3 chairs, then 2. I put it on the fridge with a magnet shaped like a star. Art can be a court record for a child's heart. Daniel completed a course on parenting language. He sent certificates like they were flowers. I thanked him for the effort and still required supervised time. Certificates are not time machines. They cannot retrieve a toast a child never got to give in a restaurant that smelled like bread and betrayal. If you are a step-parent listening, this story is not a condemnation of step-love. It is a demand for it. If you choose a partner with a child, you choose the child, or you should leave before you rank them at dinner. If you are a mother who has swallowed smaller versions of Daniel's sentence, consider this permission to stop swallowing. Your child is not a guest. Not for a will. Not for a mood. Not for a man's unfinished work on his own heart. On the 1-month anniversary of the dinner, June and I made pancakes at 7 in the morning for no reason except joy. She said, "Are we allowed to celebrate regular days?" I said, "Especially regular days. That is where family actually lives, not in wills, not in performances, in batter and syrup and the freedom to take up space." Daniel eventually wrote June a letter. I read it first. It was better than the breadbasket sentence, which is a low bar and also a start. I let her read it with her therapist present. She said, "He can be sorry. I can still be careful." 11 years old and already wiser than most adults at anniversary tables. If this story angers you on behalf of a child you love, good. Convert anger into documents, into emergency contacts, into a plan for the first hour. 24 hours is a structure, not a magic number. Some clocks run longer. Start yours anyway. Before I close, I want to leave you with a slower breath. Stories like mine travel because they are specific, but they land because they are shared. Somewhere, someone is living a quieter version of this hour. Somewhere, a phone is buzzing with a message that needs a boundary, not a reply. If you are that someone, pause. Drink water. Write one true sentence on paper you control. Then take the next right step, not the dramatic one, the documentable one. Time will do the rest if you give it evidence to work with. I am grateful you stayed until the end of this telling. Gratitude is not a soft ending. It is a handoff, from my timeline to yours. Use it carefully. Use it bravely. Use it in daylight. And one last note on healing. Healing is not a straight line you perform for an audience. It is a set of repeated choices that become a life, who you answer, what you sign, where you sleep, which memories get to drive. I chose chronology over chaos. I chose witnesses over whispers. I chose a future that does not require my shrinkage. You can choose differently and still be valid. You cannot choose denial and call it peace for long. Peace without truth is only a pause before the next locked door. Prefer truth. Prefer keys. Prefer your name written where it belongs.